Okay, I'll just run it one more time. Okay, and the data, this is what we explore, and head, tail, um, and describe. You can explore the data, whatever data you have. Okay, and just run it. Describe will give the statistical, and whatever this 25, 50, 75, all these percentile numbers are there, right? This will cover in a separate session, which is statistics. Okay, now we learned about indexing. Okay, how do you call, how do you pick up your data, okay, based on the numeric value 0 colon 3. Okay, okay, and also you can do some operations here using a operator here, like greater than, equals, or whatever you want to do. Okay, logical, whatever. Okay, so you can do all these things. Okay, okay, and also we learned about data cleaning. Okay, what is data cleaning? Data, in the original data, if you have some missing values, or some value that is not properly captured, okay, during the initial stage, okay, later on if you want to treat that data, you can use some of these features like is null. You can check how many are, if you see, if you have 10 or 5 rows, yes, you can use, you can I mean physically go through, scroll one by one, and you can do it, right? But what if you have million of records, okay, or 10,000 rows? Okay, is it possible? No. Okay, it takes some time. So we have some automated functions here. Okay, one-liner functions. These are all one-liner. You can see. Okay, you don't have to write a big code here. Okay, just one line, and you get the results. Okay, first I assign city in the second row. This is 0, 1, 2. Okay, and none. You can see I've added none here, and then I'm checking how many null values I have. So I have only one true, and then I'm checking the sum. So overall, if I have a uh, uh, more rows here, okay, so it is very difficult for me also to go scroll up and down and check one by one. So I'll use the sum function to get the missing value. Okay, and also info is another way where you can check. Okay, if you see one row, oh sorry, one column with all four values, okay, that means we have four rows and all are filled with correct data. Okay, and you see city is missing, so city we have changed intentionally with none to work on this, or to view how many null value or missing value we have. Okay, so what I did is, so fill NA will fill the data of the missing value here. Okay, so Delhi. Okay, from none to Delhi. Okay, so okay, now again I added a none here, and sometimes, so if you want to eliminate this row, you can do that. Okay, drop NA is the function that will drop the missing rows. Okay, whatever the values are missing in a particular row. Okay, so drop NA you can do, or specifically you want to add that data, so you can also use the square bracket here. Okay, and name of the column. Okay, that also you can do. Okay, and yesterday we were seeing about the operations. Okay, so I have some data. I'm sorting these values by age. Okay, you can see you do it in Excel, right? Pivot, and you click at the top, and then you can use those arrows and all to sort your data. Okay, descending, ascending, and all that. Okay, you can do it here by a sort value. Okay, data frame dot sort value, and then you will get your results. Okay, same thing here. And other operation that I did is, if you want to add some number to the existing number. Okay, so for example, you might come across sometimes, right, where you have to add some value. How do you do that on million of records? Okay, you can use the df age plus 5 operation. Simple, very simple. Okay, I'll just run it. Okay, you have the results. You can see after adding the number, you get this result. Okay, and this is the upper and lower. Okay, these are all very important, guys. Okay, you will get some or the other function that you will be using in a day and day out with your data. Okay, so what today we're going to do is we will start with aggregation. Aggregation and grouping. Let me add few rows here. Okay, so first I need a data. Okay, so I'll take some other data which I have already written, same thing. Okay, so this is the data. Okay, so there's a dictionary. I have two columns here, department and salary. Okay, for IT, some salary is there, benchmarking salary. HR, this is the salary. IT, again 65,000. This is IT support. Okay, IT support, the salary 65,000, the starting salary, and finance 70, and HR 52. Okay, so this is some data I have created, same like how we created this data. Okay, this was I was writing just before our this thing class. Okay, now I have this data. Okay, now what I want to do is if I run group data, group data, and run it, you see it's coming linear. Okay, okay, which doesn't make any sense. I want it in a data frame. Okay, like rows and columns. So I'll say df underscore group equals, okay, new variable. I'll call pd dot data frame. I'll call my data frame function and I'll pass on this data which is group data. Okay, and then I will uh, group data. Yeah, first we'll see this one, df underscore group. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now I have this data in a data frame. Okay, if you see earlier, it's just a blunt data. Okay, so it's not in a proper format. Okay, though you can read. What if you have very lengthy information columns? Okay, so if you have more data, what happens? It's hard to read, right? You have to scroll up and down, and there might be chances where you might miss some important data points. So always convert your data into a data frame format and then you start working. Okay, most of the time you get in a proper format only, but sometimes I've seen sometimes, okay, you will get in a unstructured format. Then you have to convert that into data format and then you can interpret on your data. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll use a function called group by. Okay, df underscore group. Okay, this is my variable dot. I want to use group by. Okay, group by function. You everybody knows group by, right? You can group by your categorical or some other field based on some value. Okay, so group by I want to do on based on department. Okay, this one. Okay, department, and then I want to pick the salary. Salary. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to do a mean. Okay, average. Okay, you see what is the average for finance? 70, because we have only a few data, right? When you do this with a large data set, you will see some picture. Okay, we're gonna have some hands-on today, some hands-on. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll do another task, which two. The next topic is combining data. Okay, this is very important. Okay, pay attention here. Why this is important is you might get data source from different source. Okay, two different source. Okay, and you need to collect these two data, and then you have to read your data, right? So right now whatever we are doing, we are doing in a normal data set. Okay, so whatever the data I have here, I have bifurcated. Okay, you see here. So I have df left is equal to data frame. Okay, I have some IDs 1 2 3 blah blah blah. Okay, and some number. Okay, so one column is ID and another one is department. In another data frame I have ID and salary. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, and if I convert, okay, I should have written here only df df left data frame. Okay, say right df underscore df left underscore df. Okay, just you can give any name. Oh, sorry. Oh, I have already converted that into data frame. Okay, sorry. If I want to run this, okay, I'll run this first. Okay, now you see this is my first data, which is data left. Okay, so the ID is the column and the department is the your another column where we have populated some data here. Okay, let's see what do we have in right. Okay, I have ID and salary. Now if you see in the both the table, what is common here? ID, right? ID is there, ID is there. So always look for one common uh, column where you can connect both the data. Okay, there are different ways that you can do. Okay, one is I can say uh, uh, concat. Okay, another one is merge. Okay, so we'll see all these things. Okay, the difference, basic difference. Okay, so first I'll use the concat function.
Maybe combine also.
Same thing, concat is nothing but combining both.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I can say pd dot, there is a function called concat function, open and close braces. Inside you have to pass the parameter which is your data frames. Okay, so first data frame is what? Df underscore left. Okay, df underscore left. So here df underscore left. Okay, this is my first data frame. And then comma, say df underscore right. Okay, it's a simple combining. Whatever you said, we are just combining this both. Okay, let me run this. Okay, now you see it has combined. Okay, now what happened is the first one, the left one is at the top and the right one is below. Okay, now in the below, if you notice here department, there is nothing called department here, but you have id and you have id here and you have a department and salary. Okay, now salary for the first one, it is nan, not a number. Okay, nan stands for not a number. And here finance, you see, sorry, after finance you see the second table, we have nan. Okay, so this is one way concat you can do by combining both the data, but it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense here. Understood, guys? This one, the difference. Okay, you have to try with these type of data first. Okay, small data, four rows or 10 rows you create, and then you practice it. Then you'll see the difference. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll do the this is HR and this one. Okay, now what I'll do is I will use something called merge. Okay, pay attention here. Okay, now I have two data set, left and right. DF, data frame left, data frame right. It has different values in both the data frame. Okay, now how do I merge? PD dot tab, we have a function called merge. Okay, it will take two parameter again, DF underscore left comma DF underscore right. Okay, and it will take one more parameter. These two columns that you have, sorry, these two data set that you have, this one and this one, what is common here on both of them? ID. Okay, so you want to connect on which column? Okay, I'll say on equals ID. That's it. Okay, now you see it makes sense. See, IT, HR, finance, and salary. Okay, earlier if you see it has a nan value, it has a nan value here because that column is not there, right? So obviously it will show something. Okay, so always use the merge function and you need to identify one common column in both the CSV file or Excel file or table in SQL, which are common in both the database, where you can add the data points based on that column. Okay, now this makes sense, right? Yes, no? This is
Got you, Suren. Yes.
two applying functions. Okay, now next one we'll see applying functions. Okay, if I type my df, let me see if I have any data. Okay, this is a sample data that I have. Okay, now I have something called age here. So what I'll do is I'll show you the difference here. Df age dot apply function. Okay, I'll use the apply function. Okay, so apply, what it will do is it will apply some function values. Okay, now we have something called lambda. Okay, L-A-M-D-A, L-A-M-D-A, lambda, L-A-M-B, sorry, L-A-M-B-A, yeah, lambda x colon x Where is multiplication? It's into, okay, here it's into 2. Okay. Now whatever the value we have here, it will be multiplied and shown you the data here. Okay, I'll run this first, then you will see. Okay, this is 25. Okay, 25 into 2, 50. Okay, and then double of this 46. This is this. Okay, you have different ways, guys. I'm telling you there is a different logic that you can write on your data. So these are all called manipulations. Okay, with your data. Right now I'm doing just one column. Okay, what if I have 10,000 rows? I want to do some addition to this. I can do that. Okay, so this is lambda. This I'll explain when we are doing some hands-on. Okay, when to use, what are the benefits. Okay, and next one you guys know, right, how to save a file. Okay, now whatever the df file I have, if you want to save, you can say df dot 2. Okay, you have to use the 2. Okay, now you are here, you get different functionality. Okay, so whichever format you want to move your, see, ORC stand for Oracle Parquet, period, pickle, records. You have lot of data set, HTML, JSON, HDF. HDF is Hadoop data file. Okay, GBQ. This is Google BigQuery. Okay, GBQ. So there are different formats that you can manipulate, or you can save in that format, and then you can ingest the saved file to your GCP environment, and then from there you can run your analytics on top of it. Okay, for now, for this example, I'll just save it in CSV file. Okay, I want to save this, and this is what Paris what? Okay, student. I'll just save this file as student.cs. Okay, and it has to be in quotation, single quote. Okay, and if you don't want this index to be as part of your data, okay, if you save without index, what happens, this 0 1 2 3 also appear in your CSV file. If you don't want, you can say comma index equals false. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, so it ran. You will not see any output. Okay, you need to go to your current working directory, which is your user folder, and under folder you will see something called student. Yeah, this one, student.csv. I just saved, right? If I open this file, let me see, am I getting this index or not? Okay, you see here, I'm not getting an index on the left. Okay, I'll just close this. It's asking for product key. I'm using a trial version. Okay, so you see here, left hand side, it is not showing any index. Okay, what if I say, okay, I'll just copy it. I'll just copy this command, and this time what I'll do is I will remove the index. Okay, and I'll delete the index file. Okay, already it is created, right? So it will create index 1 or something. Okay, I don't want to create all these things. I'll just remove this, and then I'll say df dot. Okay, now it is done. If I go back to my folder, I should see student.csv. I'll just open it. I want to show you. Okay, now you see 0 1 2 3. Do we need this? Okay, it will get confusion. Okay, sometimes. So again, you have to right click, delete, and all that you have to do. Okay, so you understood now. Whenever you are saving your data, you need to decide whether you want to save with index or without index. Okay, so you have, if you explicitly mention index is equal to false, so index will not be part of your data. Okay, this is for saving. Okay, uh, 1 minute. I'll just add some rows here. Okay, cells. I'll add some cells. Now, okay, the one which we learned just now, it is called um, it is called input H2, input output. Okay, so if you want to save, you can save it. Okay, if you want to read the now, see, I will do one thing. I'll say, uh, okay, I have saved this file now. Okay, if I want to read, how do I read this file? I'll say pd dot read csv file. Okay, and then what is the file name? Student dot csv. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now I have the data. You see here unnamed, it says unnamed 0, and you have two index. It creates a problem now. See, this is what I want to show you. If you don't use index is equal to false. Okay, always remember, don't get confused what is this index. There are a lot of properties guys here. Okay, inside this bracket there are a lot of property. You have to go to the documentation. You can start one by one. Okay, it all comes by practice. Okay, next one we will practice with a sample data. Okay, so till now I think you guys are clear, right? So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna send this today, and I will head to Pandas Basic 3. Okay, where is my new? Okay, so this is Pandas Basic 03. Okay, now here I'll say play with data. Okay, so we'll follow one by one. Okay, now okay, so first thing first, we will use a library called, see, in Python packages, right? There are some inbuilt data sets are there where you can do the practice. Okay, like Cborn. Okay, Cborn is a package in Python where you will have some default data sets for practice. Okay, right now, traditionally what we do is we are going to the Kaggle site and downloading some CSV, Excel, blah, blah, TXT and all, and then we are reading that file and working on it. Okay, but in Python itself, we have a data set. Okay, when you install the Python package, it comes along with those packages. Okay, the Cborn, Matplotlib, Pandas, NumPy, all these scikit-learn. Okay, so all this package you will see some data. Okay, not all of them I know, I don't know, but in C1, I know you have a default data. So we're going to use one of them for our learning today. So first, I want to import the libraries. I'll say Cborn. Okay, Cborn as I'll use SNS. Okay, short form. Okay, are you able to see my screen, guys? Okay. So first I'll use the Titanic data set. Okay, there is a very famous data set in Seaborn, or even if you go to the Kaggle, you'll get the CSV file for Titanic. Okay, so Titanic data talks about your, you remember the Titanic uh, incident, right? The ship got sunk and a lot of people died. Okay, so this data set is very famous where you can use this data set for your practice. Okay, you can do some prediction and all that. So I'll create a data uh, Titanic. Okay, I'll create a variable called Titanic, or I'll say TC. Okay, I don't want big name and all. TC. I don't want to type again and again Titanic. Okay, I say TC Titanic is equals. Then I'll say SNS. SNS is what? Your pseudonym for Seaborn. Top, the first row, this one. Okay, SNS dot. I'll use the drop down menu to pick my uh, data set. I'll say load, LOAD, load data set. Okay, and before that you can also see the data list also. Okay, I'll add here just for reference. I can say SNS dot tab get data set names. Okay, so what are the inbuilt data set names that are available in a Seaborn library? Okay, so when you run it, you will see all those things here. Okay, so these are all the famous data sets: dots, Dow Jones, exercise, flights. Okay, so this is also very good point where you can start working on this. Okay, so you have iris. Okay, iris is nothing but about flowers. You have the length of the petal. Okay, sepal. So all these things, first you need to understand, read the data dictionary. Okay, so data dictionary means whatever the columns they have mentioned, what does it mean? Okay, why the value is in float only, why not in integer, why not in real number? Okay, all these things you have to ask questions to yourself. Okay, now I'll load the Titanic. So you have to say in quotes Titanic. Yeah. Okay, so I have loaded here. So first thing first, what is the first command that I want to use? Info. Okay, always start with info. So info will give, spend some time here. Okay, so how many rows I have? 891 rows. Okay, and I have 15 columns, and these are the 15 columns. Okay, so survived, P class. P means P stands for passenger class. Okay, so actually in I mean here you don't get the data dictionary, so someone will create. Okay, if you go to the Kaggle, you will get the data dictionary there also. Okay, data dictionary is very important. Okay, so who gives that data dictionary? If I am giving you this Titanic data set, so I am the owner for the data. So I have to create a data dictionary and separately I have to send it in an Excel sheet, in a separate sheet. Okay, boss, these columns means this and these values are like this. Why it is in categorical, Boolean and all that I will explain there. Okay, data dictionary is very important. Understanding your data will give you a good idea. Okay, from where you have to start. If you don't know anything, then you will be always confused what to do. Okay, so right now we have 15 columns. Okay, now you see the first one survived 891. Okay, so total entry is 891 as per the data. Okay, and now here if you see count, age is missing. Okay, so 714 rows are there, some are missing. Okay, here 891, 891. See here deck 203 only we are missing almost 600 rows. Okay, which is huge, but we'll see. Okay, what is the importance of deck? Then we have a markdown. I don't know what is this. I'll see the data and then I can tell you what that means. Alive and alone. Okay, alive means after that incident happened. Okay, how many were alive? Okay, so it will have a value like 0 and 1s. Okay, 0 means not alive, 1 means alive. Okay, though you see here 891, and alone means uh, people who are traveling alone. Okay, not with family, colleagues, or with their family. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, it has a boolean value which means true or false. Okay, like alone means yes. Okay, with family, no, something like that. Okay, so now data type: integer, integer, object, float, integer. Okay, there's parse, integer, fair, float, all these data are here. Okay, so after going through this, next one is our basics. Okay, so what is the next one that we're going to do? Okay, next one what we'll do, guys, are you paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next what
You
I'll
have
do,
stopped sharing the screen.
oh, 1 minute, I clicked on something. Yes. Okay, so after the info, what I'll do first thing, okay, I want to see my first 5 rows. Okay, okay, so what is the command I'm going to use here? Okay, here I'll use pc dot head command. Okay, if I run this, okay, you'll see the top 5. Okay, and you can see the indexing here. Okay, so this is a general format of your data. Okay, so you can see here you have a survived. Okay, 0 means no, 1 means yes. Okay, passenger class, first, second, third. In railways you have, right, first class, second class, general, bogie, and all that. Similarly, in this Titanic ship, you have this categorization. Okay, sex of the people who were on that ship, male, female, age group, their age group. Okay, this is, I think, sibling. If I am not wrong, SIBSP. Okay, I have to check these two terminologies. I don't know. Okay, to be frank, I don't know. I have to check the data dictionary in Kaggle. Okay, fare. How much was the fare? Okay, you can see here. If it is a first class, okay, if it is a first class, it is $71. Okay, if it is a third class, it is 7.2. Okay, you can see by the price also difference. Okay, and embark. Okay, embark means SCSSS, I don't know. Okay, I have to check the dictionary. Class. Okay, third class, second class, already P class is there in numeric, but again they have added the categorical here. Okay, and here who. Okay, man, women, kids, children will be there here. Okay, and adult male, true, false means, that means this woman is a aged one. Yeah, 38 age group. False, adult male, deck, Nancy. See, you have a missing values here. So you can clearly see. And okay, and embark town. Okay, okay, embarked town means where they are heading to, or their native. Okay, and alive, no, yes, yes, these were alive. These guys somehow escaped here. Why? Because if you see the first class, right, the ship, I mean, security team might have given them a special treatment, right, by giving a lifeboat and all that, so that somehow they got escaped from the tragedy, and they were able to make it out. Okay, you can see that also is one of the inference you can draw here. Okay, and what is this? Alone, false, false, true. Okay, true means she was alone. Okay, false means this woman, this female woman, with this ticket number or whatever you have identification. Okay, she came along with someone. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, first class means you have more space, and she might have accompanied with their kid, sibling, or husband, or whoever. Okay, so it doesn't have mail, it doesn't have the ticket number here, so that you can connect all this uh, data set with those, right? So a lot of data is missing. Okay, so this is about head. Okay, now I want to see the last 5 rows. I say tc dot tail. Okay, this is the last date, and you can see 891 is our total rows. If you see the info command, so we have 891. It starts from 0, right? So 891. So these are data. Okay, total data. So we know the first five. We know this is how data looks like. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll do some statistical imputation on the data. Okay. So how do we do that? Tc dot describe. Okay, tc dot describe, enter. Okay, now it will pick up the columns that are numeric. Okay, how many columns we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, rest are, you see, categorical data. Okay, and this one is categorical data. That is the reason it is not showing. So let's spend some time to understand what is the count for survived 891. Okay, age 714. So some ages are missing. Okay, so others, other columns you can see 891, which is good. Mean, what is the average survived here? 0.38. Okay, and P class 2.3. Okay, and here age group, what is the age group here? Our average age group is 29 years old. Most of them are youngsters. Okay, what is the standard deviation? 14. Okay, and what is the minimum value? So you can see here age group minimum zero point 0.4 is there. Okay, which is, I mean, which is not correct. If it is zero point 0.4, does it make any sense? Have you seen any age which starts with zero point 0.4? No, right? It has to be something less than the average group, minimum and max. Okay, so this is where the correction you have to do. You have to, because if you see age, some data are missing here. 714, 891. So what that means is you have to go back to the stakeholder and ask him, boss, I'm seeing some discrepancy with the column called age, missing values. Can you correct that? Okay, he'll say, I have another data. I'll just verify and come back. Okay, if he fills those data and give you back, well, good and well, and that is good. If not, then you have to tell him, boss, I'm going to do some uh, treatment for age to treat this data. Okay, if he agrees, then you have to take a sign off and then do it. Okay, so there are different ways to fill the missing value. Okay, one is manual, you can do, but in this case, a lot of fields are missing. 714 minus 891, how much it comes? 891 minus 714. Okay, 177 rows are missing. Can you do it manually? No, I cannot do it. Okay, if you want, you can do it. If you have time, you can do it, but I will use the treatment. Okay, I will do the treatment. Okay, those things we will learn in the upcoming classes, treating data, missing data, then outliers, and all that. Okay, so this is one command describe. Okay, and same thing, you can write this in a transpose method also. Pc dot dscrib describe, right? C dot describe. Okay, you have to use dot t. Okay, transpose. Now you see columns are here, columns will come here, and this title will go at the top. Okay, for reading visibility, you see it has swapped. Okay, orientation I have changed with the T. count is there. So you can copy paste and you can put it in your PPT. Okay. So this is also talks of very good points. Okay. So you have to build stories. Okay. Data stories. Okay. You have to build your own stories, understand the data first, and then you can build your own stories. Okay. Now we'll see the shape. Okay. I'll say TC dot shape. Okay, shape will give you how many rows and columns are there. Rows, first one is rows, so which is 891 15. Okay, and the second command is columns. Yeah, tc dot columns. Okay, so these are all the columns I have. Okay, if you see the original data set, right, this one. Okay, so these are the original columns. Okay, same thing, sometimes you have to refer here and there all this, so you can use all those things. Okay, this is one column, and then yeah, if you want to see the data types of entire this thing, you can say print, you can say tc dot d types, d types. Okay, you see here all the columns and their data types. Okay, this is all for quick reference. Sometimes you have a lot of rows here, I mean the cells here. Okay, you cannot go up and down again and again, so you can run this command there itself, and then after you are done with your data analysis, you can delete this. Okay, if you want to display two data types side by side, how do you do that? You can say df. Okay. Inside I'll take P class, P class, P class, age, sex and age. Okay. I'll say sex, sports, age. It says DF. Oh, okay, not DF, TC. So I got that habit of writing DF, data frame. Okay. Now you see age not in index. Age not in index. Why? Index, where is age? Okay, it is in small case. I have added A as capital. Okay, so I have to change it to lowercase. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now you see the data for two columns. Okay, so it will not show all in one column. Okay, it will show dot dot dot. Okay, so this is how you can see, and there is one more command that where you can say show all means it will show all, but it will be very lengthy. 890 means you have to scroll, and you have to check. Okay, so these are very useful commands for populating your data in charts and all that. Okay, now what else? What else? Age is done. Double age is done. Okay, same thing if you want to populate more than two also. I'll just copy this. I'll copy this, paste it. After age, I will put a comma. and I'll pick one more. Okay. Uh, I'll take as class. Okay. Okay. Now you see this male 20. Okay, and all that. And even if you want to perform uh, dot RIP describe statistical computation, you can see here. Okay, only for this age 714 and all also you can do. Okay, there are different ways that you can use the functionality. Okay, functions. Okay, I'll leave it like this so that you will understand. Okay, so this is one. And if you want to measure the age, okay, for example, you want to see above 30, above 40, anybody is there in the age group. What you'll do is, okay, age group greater than 40. Uh, Greater, it's not support instant list or an integer. Okay, so age is what type data? Age. It's a float. It should work. 1 minute. Where is basics 2? I've already done this if I'm not wrong. Okay, I have to move that in this one. Okay. Okay, so I have to say tc dot log tc age. Okay, age is small here, a is lowercase. Okay, and I want to see it is greater than 40. Okay, I'll just remove this cell for now. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now you see I have a beautiful data here. Okay, so how many rows? So how many people are above 40? Okay, you see 150 rows. So this is your answer. Bottom you see here. Okay, 15 rows into 15 columns. Okay, and also you can do another way. Uh, okay, I'll move that to some data frame. I'll say temporary equals this. Okay, and if you want to see temp dot some function, you can count the number, how many entries are there. Okay, it has, let me see, can only concrete string, not integer to string. Age. Okay, yeah, it will not work. I'll tell you this one later, but for now basics. Okay, so this is 40. Okay, if you want to see greater than 40, Okay, and less than 50. Use a empty boolean. Okay, we have to use different functions. Okay, but there are different libraries are available where you can use those also. Okay, so we'll go through that also later on. For now, this is more than enough for you guys to practice. Okay, so when we get into the, right now we are in basics, we'll get into the intermediate where we're gonna do some more hands-on. Okay, like for example, if you want to do some arithmetic operations and all that, you can do that. Okay, and you have like SQL filtering also. Okay, those who know SQL, it will be very useful. Okay, but we have separate session for SQL filtering. Okay, structured query language. Okay, how do you do that? You can do by simply writing a single line command. Okay, for example, I'll say I'll create one variable called SQL equals, I'll say it's not df, tc. Okay, Titanic variable dot, I'll press query function. Okay, query is what you're gonna use. Query, inside that you will say mm, uh, okay, who. Okay, we have who here, right? Who, man, woman, right? So we'll say first we want to see man. Okay, we'll say, and this has to be in quotes. Okay, I'll say what is the column name? Uh, who, who equals. Okay, so this is to see, not who. Okay, who equals uh, who equals uh, man. Okay, and we will take one more parameter, male. How many males were in first class? Okay, I'll say who, column name. Okay, who is nothing but column name, and here we have class is equal to first class. Okay, or sex. Sex. Okay, this is not required. Sex is not required. Class is equal to first. Class equals uh, f. uh, F is capital, you see there. You have to write in the same manner. Okay. So this you close it, and here you put one more quote for closing that. Okay. Let me run. Perhaps you forgot comma. Hmm. Maybe I think it is looking for some space here. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll just add double quotes, double quotes. Python keyword not valid identifier in. num expression query. Mm, which line, which line and class 2. Okay, I'll just change this query little bit here. Okay, so I'll say instead of this, I'll say age. Okay, age, uh, yeah, age greater than 40. Okay, so we don't have anybody above 40. Okay, so let's see if you have less than 40. Okay, this is also not satisfying. Okay, sorry, I have to write the SQL also here to run the query. Sorry. Okay, I forgot to write this SQL here to display the result. Okay, so less than 30. Okay, so if you see all this age group, okay, so how many count we have? Less than 80, 197 out of 879. Okay, so this you can take a different one and you can do the analysis, something like this. Okay. Okay, guys, what's the time now? 9:39. Okay, we are on top of the hour. So I'll close this. I'll not take much time. I'll close this and I'm going to share this tomorrow. This entire sheet. We'll have one more session tomorrow, and on Friday, please practice this. Okay. And so it comes by practice only. We'll pick up some other data sets and we will discuss.